When we all were kids, we had the wonderful, great pleasure of having magical stories told to us by our parents or teachers. Now, fast forward a couple years later, the real world done put us all in a full Nelson and very sensually whispered in our ears very, very disgusting and naughty things. But despite what we have endured since our adolescent years, one thing still persists. Them books, they warned us. When you go back and take a look at the moral of the stories of these pieces of literature, you do gotta admit to yourself, this shit definitely still applies to my day-to-day life. It's just the truth. So, to refresh all our memories on what lessons lied in these books, let's start off by taking a look at If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, one of my all-time favorites when I was a kid. And if I'm being honest,
to this day.
So the basic premise of the story is if you give a mouse a cookie, they're gonna want something in return, which is also the entirety of the book from the first page to the last page. Yes, I know, a cinematic masterpiece. Really though, after reading this book, there is a valuable lesson you can take away from it. Don't give niggas shit. That's the lesson. Or you're gonna end up like this nice little boy that decided to give bootleg Stuart Little a cookie, which you would think Stuart Little would have been grateful that he did that.
No.
Instead, he keeps asking for stuff. Like, bro, Stuart, you should be grateful that this nigga grandma didn't smoke your ass. And the mouse was just so persistent. He kept asking for stuff until the point of the book resetting itself. The final page is literally the mouse asking for another cookie. So the mouse really just put this little boy in this infinite loop of events. And how nice the little boy is, we can only assume he's gonna keep feeding into this mouse's greed. The audacity of this nigga. You got little bro making you an entire bed that you slept in for a millisecond. And when I say a millisecond, I know we all thinking the same exact thing. This mouse need to get his ass beat. Putting aside the fact that this mouse might be one of the most annoying characters in the entirety of fiction, period, point blank, we must appreciate the penmanship of the author, Laura Numeroff. She really was just trying to warn us of times to come. Because if I were to ask each and every one of you that's currently watching this video right now, were you ever taken advantage of, I think everybody's hand would be raised, including myself. In this children's book, we get to see what a leash is in the form of a mouse. And as a reader, you can make this connection with somebody in the real world. A cousin, a girlfriend, brothers, uncles, homeless people on the corner that accept Apple Pay. This book will simply letting us all know if you try to help a leash by giving something to them, all you're doing is helping a continuous cycle of greed.
Damn, Laura Numeroff.
Yo, ass was cooking. Moving on to our next stop down memory lane, we have No David, aka Caillou if he suffered from ADHD. The whole story is focused on our protagonist, David, who's seen that coming, and how David was giving his single mother headaches from the very beginning of the story to the very end of the story. Drawing on walls, running outside butt naked, jumping on the bed after she told him to go to his room. You know, the type of stuff that gets you whooped like a slave in most households. And what was so funny to me about this story, we're looking back at it, after David did all the stuff he did, y'all wanna know what he decides to choose as an action? This nigga gonna decide to burst out crying. You gonna sit your halfway shaved ball sack hit ass down somewhere, trying to act like you didn't give your mama hell all day. And guess what the mom does, y'all? Gives him a hug and says that she loves him. I ain't gonna cap, that almost made a tear fall out a brother's eye right there. Cause when you really think about it, there is a valuable lesson to be learned in this story. Yeah, David was beyond annoying and definitely deserved a whooping that would echo through the vacuums of space. But putting that to the side, his angel of a mother's love was so unconditional, she looked past all his actions, knowing he still needed it. And I know we all can relate to this a little bit as far as doing something in our lives that we know we shouldn't be doing, and we think to ourselves, if we got caught, that's the end of our ass. And if we being a buck hunted, a lot of times, yeah, we do still get caught, and it is the end of our ass. But even when that does happen, we still sometimes have moments like David, where even though you're completely in the wrong, your parents, your guardians, or whoever still show you the love that we all require. Don't y'all sit there and act like it ain't been them times you just got through an argument or got whooped by your parents or something. You chilling up in your room, your mama creaked the door open a little bit.
You want something from McDonald's?
Putting aside the fact you just burnt the whole city down. And moments like this truly do strengthen the bond between parents and kids. I think we all can agree on that. So yeah, the overall moral of this story, in my supreme opinion, is that unconditional love is very vital in households. And just because somebody's actions are questionable, that doesn't mean they no longer require that level of support. Now, moving on to our next holy grail of the past. We got the very hungry caterpillar. This bit done went platinum in all hoods across America, maybe even the world for that fact. And when I tell y'all, looking over it again after all these years, now using my fully developed adult mind to truly process what I'm reading, I now realize we all were just getting spoon-fed propaganda. Yes! Subconsciously trying to tell us to eat vegetables. Like, what the fuck? If you read the book, it starts off with the caterpillar spawning in, talking about how he's so hungry and he needs some food, right?
This bastard
Proceeds to eat all through the week. Monday, an apple. Tuesday, 2 pears. Wednesday, 3 plums. Thursday, 4 strawberries. Friday, 5 oranges. I'm actually perplexed. Cause this caterpillar's eating better than 94.2% of us. And then still have the garlics to still claim that he's hungry. How hungry can you truly be where you're not even eating the entirety of the food? This nigga punches a hole through each piece of food and then keeps it rolling. Like, move around with that I'm still hungry stuff. And I just want to warn y'all, everything up until this point was just child's play. Cause what takes place on Saturday shows Brody's true colors. This little demon wakes up with one purpose: consume everything. Saturday morning, this glutton proceeds to eat a piece of chocolate cake, some ice cream, 1 pickle, a slice of Swiss cheese, some salami, a lollipop, 1 slice of cherry pie, a glizzy, 1 cupcake, and a slice of watermelon. And then the nigga has the audacity to talk about, my stomach hurts. No shit, Sherlock. You just ate the Big Smoke order from San Andreas. I'm a 158-pound man, right? And if I ate all that, I'm clocking in for the night. And let's just take a moment to realize, whoever lives near this caterpillar, why the fuck are you dropping buffet portions of food on the ground? Like, it's really all fun and games until the green demon reaches his full potential and start eating at that booty. Yes, bro, get down like that. I'm assuming. I don't know, hopefully not. Anyway, getting back into the story. The next day on Sunday, the caterpillar decides to finally eat a leaf and feels very relieved after the rampage that occurred yesterday. And just from that one singular leaf, the caterpillar no longer feels hungry no more, puts himself in a cocoon, and you guessed it, became a pimp. I mean, a butterfly. I'm sorry, I just had to make that joke. I just thought it was good. My fault. Yes, he became a beautiful butterfly. The end. As I said from the start, propaganda. How did this nigga eat enough food to feed a family of 8, but eats this funky leaf 1 time and gets a whole evolution? Come on with all that, bruh. I just don't know. It seems a little fishy to me. Or wait, is that the point? You could preoccupy yourself with things that seem good and beneficial to you at the moment, but at the end of the day, you're only putting yourself in more pain. And only after you decide to choose the right path, no matter how dull it seems, will you truly elevate. Good job, Eric Carl, you genius of a man.
Subscribe, like, and share with a trusted adult. And no, my cousin Eli does not threaten my life to make this video. Bye.